welcome back to another episode of Gossip Break, the cherry on top of your day. I'm one of your very fabulous hosts, Becky.
And I'm your other fabulous co-host, Bree.
Yes, and we are gonna jump into some pop culture. We had some big news pop up over the last 24 hours that we're gonna get into. And then we are gonna cover our good old friends over in Westeros with House of the
Yay.
Dragon. So let's get into it, Brie. Well, how are you actually? Let
I'm
me know
doing
you're good.
good. I'm doing good. I'm currently dog sitting, so I feel like since I'm in a different spot, I'm just dog sitting for my mom. But
Yeah.
it's like I'm at my mom's house, so it's like remote podcasting.
Yes, we love.
It hits different.
Yeah, no, it does when you're not in your normal space. It's so
Yeah.
how that works. Even just working, like working from a coffee shop, I get so much work done. It's like crazy.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's like but then it's like after 2 hours burnt out.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, time to go home. Like
Exactly. And do nothing
literally.
now.
Yeah, I have a good 2 hour
I put my
power
full
hours.
like 8 hour corporate hours into those 2 hours at the coffee
Yes.
shop.
No, that's so funny. I do the same thing. What have I been up to? I've been good. It's hot AF in Dallas. I have my AC in case anyone, you know,
Cared
cared.
for an update.
They finally came and fixed it this weekend after 2 weeks of surviving in the blistering heat, and it's only gotten hotter. And
I think
yeah,
Becky cursed me because then after that episode, my AC literally went out that night and I'm in Florida. So I was dying. But thankfully, they came like the next day. They were quick with
okay,
it.
good, because I had to get all crazy and
It's like,
like,
not Becky Karma. What'd I do?
yeah, I know that's ridiculous. Probably because the ACs are like in overdrive right now.
Yeah, 100%. But anyways, okay, so we have some exciting things to talk about today. I'm super excited for our House of the Dragon recap. We're going to save that for the end because we have lots of thoughts and we're actually going to recap it more scene by scene this time rather than just fangirl out. But also let us know kind of what you would prefer. Like, do you like the lengthy recaps or do you kind of just want to hear us yap about our thoughts? Obviously, we're going to do both. But yeah, let us know what you're thinking. And we're going to start off with some nice pop. Well, actually, it's not nice this week. Well, it's a good blend of nice and bad pop culture
Yeah,
topics. Should we start with good or bad?
I say we start with good just to keep it cute, and then we'll slowly get darker and darker and darker
Yeah, and
into
then end in Westeros, the darkest.
Okay, so our first story today is Freaky Friday 2 is set for theaters in 2025. Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis reunite behind the scenes as filming kicks off.
Yay!
I know, I'm
Yeah.
kind of happy. Like, normally I'm like a reboot 20 years later, like a sequel, but I'm happy for my girl Lindsay. I'm glad she's
It's
on
the
the
fact
other.
that it's the same people, the same actresses. That's what makes it so
Yes.
special. They're not just like Mean Girls 2 and they're like totally different people. It just doesn't
Yeah.
hit the same. So this is a huge day for the Lindsay Lohan cinematic what is it even called? The cinematic universe girlies. Because I grew
Yes.
up on her.
Absolutely. Lindsay Lohan doesn't get like, and maybe it's because she had, a little stint of controversy, but
Yeah,
I
but
think
which
she
house star
handled
didn't?
it. Yeah, honestly, like which Disney star didn't one and two, I think she handled it the best she could. She's in a renaissance right now. I know
I'm
she
so
had
happy
that.
for her.
Yeah, I know she had that show on like MTV or VH1 where she was like running a club
Oh
in
my
like
God, yeah.
Montrose.
I feel like she was a little messy on that. I didn't
No,
end up watching
she,
that.
yeah, I saw one video of her dancing and I was like,
Yes, the viral one of her dancing at the beach club. I just need to see her as an actress. Like, I don't need to see
yeah,
her actually like that.
no, I need to see her in her acting bag. And because
Yes.
Lizzie can act, like
Yeah.
she
I
can
mean, I
parent
was fully
trap.
convinced as a kid that there was twins. When I
Yeah,
found out that it was one girl, I was
I
actually pretty upset about it for a while because I felt
yes.
bamboozled.
I one summer, probably when I was like 10, only watched that movie,
It's my
had it on
favorite movie
DVD.
ever.
Yeah, it's probably I would say like if someone were to ask me what's your favorite movie, I'd probably say The Parent Trap with
Same.
Lindsay Lohan.
I
Because
always tell people that anytime they ask, what's your favorite movie? One, Parent Trap. Two, Too Fast, Too Furious because of Paul Walker.
No,
These
it's
movies.
so good. And I'm so happy that we're getting, because Freaky Friday is really good too. The music.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. The music in that was like all of her songs, like original songs in her movies are so they like put crack in them. Like
No, like that is Lindsay is a triple threat. She is gifted. The acting, the singing, like the music and Freaky Friday is like some of the best I think to ever come out of a Disney. I actually sing it all the time. Like I've looked it up on Spotify and it's not there. And I'm like, you
I was
guys
just
need to
about to say,
drop the
what were they
album.
called? The ones that like I'm because there's one that's like stands out to me in my
I
head. I don't know
wanna
what it's
go
called.
up, I wanna get
Yeah.
out.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
take
Take
me
me
away.
away. That's the one. Take me away.
Oh, like that
Oh
song
my God.
hits. And I'm just so happy, they're getting the band back together. Literally. I hope the cast is all the same. Like I hope the bandmates are in the movie. I hope, you know, the little what I forgot her name. Like, because they switched places because of the fortune cookie. And like I
Yes.
hope she's in it or like her
I think it's
daughter.
all the same people. It looks
Okay,
like.
good.
And I was just thinking, okay, because it was going to bother me if I didn't look it up. The other song that hits like crack is in the Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
Yes. That girl was a oh
Yes.
yes.
That
Yes.
girl was me. That one. Like I Eliza sings kills me.
Yes. Like
Was that her name?
wow.
Wasn't it Eliza something?
Yeah. Eliza. And I will never and Megan Fox, like that. Oh, so
That
good.
era of movies was just the best. So I'm excited for this and I hope it like has the same nostalgic feel. Like I hope they don't try to make it I don't know. Like just keep it how it is.
Yeah, it's perfect the way it is. That's why it did so well. I'm pretty sure it's one of like the best like movies, Disney movies in theater, that like best selling like box office sort of thing. So I
Deserved.
really yeah, deserved. Like that movie was for literally remember going to see that movie with my mom in kindergarten. Like I remember going, if you're from Tampa, you know this. We went to when it was Movie Coast Starlight
Oh my gosh, that just gave me flashbacks.
in Tampa Palms before it was AMC or whatever it was. And I like vividly remember going to see Freaky Friday with my mom. And I just want to see Freaky Friday 2 with my mom again. It's such a mother-daughter classic.
I feel like we should go see it with our moms. That would be so cute. It's meant to
Side
be seen
note,
with your mom.
no, it's a mommy daughter movie. It's a girl mom movie,
100%.
110%. Especially like watching back, like she was like an angsty teen. Like, yeah, that was me. And like honestly, as I've gotten older, I appreciate my mom so much more. So
Yeah, we got to see it with our
perfect.
mommies.
Side note, what's like your favorite? I know, I guess technically Parent Trap, but like what's your favorite like Disney movie, like Disney Channel movie? That was
Okay.
on it like
Disney Channel. Okay, so I feel like
yeah.
because isn't there a difference?
Decom.
Yeah, because I feel usually I would pick Parent Trap, but I'm thinking of just
Yeah.
like decom and okay.
Or like Pixar.
Yeah, I think so. It's like, okay, so what I view in my head, because this was like when it was peak Disney for me, and like I loved that time was Camp Rock. However, like what I feel like has the
Please.
best rewatch value for me that I will always like would watch again is High School Musical.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Yeah, High School Musical like changed it literally built a
Yeah.
generation. Like
Yeah.
no exaggeration.
I mean,
Camp
I've
Rock.
told you I was a Joe Jonas girl.
That's
So
true. You were
Camp Rock changed things for me. And then also I was a Demi Lovato girly. So because there was like
yeah.
you were like a Miley, Selena, or Demi, and then you were a Joe, Nick, or Kevin girl. So that movie was like made for me. I was like, oh like seventh grade me, I could not wait to put that shit on.
That movie, I just thought about the scene when they're coming down the hill and they're like doing the thing, and they're like, Camp Rock. Like rewatching Camp Rock is
Ever
so
rewatch it now because it's so cringe.
Also, especially knowing that Demi Lovato was literally coked out, cracked out on weed, on
That's
alcohol,
why I
on
feel like I
Molly.
can't, it's too dark to go back and watch now. Like, that's why I just say in like my peak memory, I remember it as a
Yeah.
good movie, but I
Yeah.
will not rewatch it. Well,
Yeah.
honestly, one of the best songs from Disney came out of that, and it was the Too Cool song. Like, I remember all the mean bitches at school were singing that, and I was
Ooh,
scared.
stop. What it takes to be my God. What it takes to make me shine. What it takes to make me.
Wait, I was
Something like
thinking
that.
of
Oh, is that
the
the
little
right one?
blonde girl that she goes, "'Cause I'm
Too
too
cool.
cool, and I'm too cool to know you." That one, I was like,
Yes.
all the
Yeah,
mean
Disney.
girls sang that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That movie also had a lot of hits. Even Camp Rock too. I don't remember that
Yeah.
one as well, but Camp Rock 2 was good. I
What
would
about
say my
you?
yeah, obviously besides High School Musical because that was just like again created a generation
God
of
tier.
yeah, like no one's touching them. Probably Cheetah Girls,
Ooh, that's such a good pick.
specifically like the first one's good, obviously, like
Hmm.
Cinderella, so good. Cheetah Girls 2 when they go to Spain.
That's the one I vividly remember.
That one, whoa.
Changed my brain chemistry.
Yeah, like I know they went to like India and did the whole Bollywood thing in the third one, but Raven wasn't there. But the second one, it was so dramatic. Like it had so
Yes.
many ballads in it,
It
and
was
like
like so passionate for like girls
yes,
in middle
and
school to be watching this in elementary school.
yes, and Marisol. Like it was just so it was so Spaniard, honestly. Like looking back, it's like why were they singing like that to 9-year-olds?
There was no reason.
No, but it was really good. And yeah, we love obviously we're Disney girls. We grew up on
I know,
Disney,
obviously. I'm
probably.
so sorry for all the people who hate singing because this episode's rough.
Yeah. Sorry. But like if you're a Disney kid, like I
You
know
get it.
you
And I hope you're
yeah,
singing along and you're not judging
absolutely.
our poor voices and
Yeah,
just vibing out.
terrible.
But well, now moving on to the darker news because this gets worse from here.
Yeah, like sorry. I hope you should enjoy that singing because it's only gonna get sad and decrepit after this.
Exactly. So I hope you were grateful for that. So both are some housewives news. We're
Woo.
going to start with okay, we're just going to go quickly over Jersey. We're not doing a recap of it. However, it was a pretty big episode at the end
Yeah.
because Jennifer Aydin and Danielle Cabral got into a physical altercation. So we kind of just wanted to
Mhm.
touch on that because what the fuck?
No, excuse Jennifer
Excuse me?
Aiden.
That episode was literally the definition of fuck around and find out.
Yeah, because I don't even really know what they were fighting about.
Like I honestly, okay. So I was telling you how I kind of like didn't vibe with Danielle because I felt like she was a grifter. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a lot of instances of this. Like so many people have been like coming forward to all of these like bigger Bravo, podcasters or bloggers saying, "Oh, I'm from Jersey. She did this to me. Like my kids go to school with her. She like, she scams me." Like all of these people are saying this. So I
Right.
feel like Jen was trying to make that known on air. However, it was just coming across like she was reaching hard because like none of these issues had to do with her. So it just didn't feel good.
Thirsty.
Yeah, and I think like Danielle was getting pissed. You dirtbag, you're bringing this shit up again.
Yeah. I just looked up Danielle's sign and she's a Leo
Of
and
course
Jennifer
she
is an
is.
Aries.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Aries being the first child and Jennifer pushed first
Of course. No, that's why I was like, let me like sit this one out because
because your ass would have
I
pushed
know I
first.
would, but my thing is like I don't actually let me not even say that because that's a lie.
What were you gonna
Um,
say?
I was gonna I was gonna say like I don't put my hands on people first, but like the one time I've ever gotten physical with someone at 100% was me putting my hands on
Yes,
her.
let's sit this one out, Jen Aiden.
So, but I
Both
will
Aries.
say if I were Jennifer, that's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna pick a fight, which I don't do that anymore. I'm not gonna pick a fight with someone I know could mollywop me.
Yeah,
And
like
Danielle,
Danielle can
yes,
fight.
Yeah, she looks like she can fight. You could tell she can fight, and she also has like nothing to lose, really.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't have her family, like her house.
Yeah.
She's the newest on the cast. Like,
She probably feels like almost pressure to perform in a way.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, I feel like, listen, if you grew up on Bad Girls Club, you know that you are the rules of the game is you get in their face and point as much as you can. But if they push you first, then it's on to do whatever the
yeah,
fuck you want. But you have to get
absolutely.
the like that's why they hold their hands behind their back and they like puff up their chest because they
Yeah,
want you to hit them first. So they have the justification. And
yeah,
Danielle knows the rules of Bad Girls Club. She was like
yeah.
waiting for Jen to like push her. She was like, "Get me, bitch, get me!" Like,
Like, please, I'm like begging
please.
you to hit me, honestly. And the fact that she went for her throat too, like not even like,
Yes.
no,
He
bitch, like,
literally hit her upside the head, like wanted to break an artery.
oh
And like
gosh.
that's honestly okay. So like I'm not gonna like sit here and cat for Danielle too much because that was violent and it was
Right.
really aggressive. And it's like, yes, somebody pushes you. She was in her space. And like I'm not saying that you should push somebody, but I could understand why somebody would push someone when you're getting in the face like that.
Oh yeah.
Um, but then also it's like, is smashing a glass, I mean, it wasn't glass, but it looked like a glass, smashing a plastic cup upside someone's head, like the necessary response to pushing someone? I don't know. I mean, I guess we can't really like determine people's reactions
Yeah.
after they get touched. So like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't want to like police her action, but she probably just
Exactly. But it
grabbed
was
the
a little
closest.
aggressive.
Yeah, she grabbed the closest thing to her, which thank God it wasn't like actual like a wine glass or
Yeah.
something, and knocked her upside the head because like y'all could have just gone hands for hands. Like
You could have,
if
yeah, it's like, I don't want to police, but like, you could have pushed her back.
yeah, you could have shoved like you could
You could
have
have shoved her hard. Like, she
that
could, if she would have
bitch.
fell on her ass, that would have been more embarrassing. And it would have been like,
Yes.
what? Like, you shoved me first. But
Yeah.
now it just kind of looks like, oh, Housewives is getting scary. Like, you,
Yeah.
like, if
Every
that was glass, you would have like almost killed her.
No, I mean that's what happened last season with Potomac when Candace literally picked up a champagne bottle, like, oh, you
Yeah.
want to go to jail tonight.
Yeah. That was like, what was she doing? Like, you're so tiny. Sit
Yeah.
down.
No,
And like,
exactly.
on, like, that's the thing is like, I think what I get mad about with Jersey is that because it's so team based, like people feel like have a hard time talking, not like talking shit, but like holding their faves accountable. I've just
Mhm.
been seeing, like, I like Jennifer Aydin, but like she does go too far. And like all these
Yeah.
accounts that are like capping for her right now, like, come on, guys. She pushed her first. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You
And
know, us Aries stick together, and I was like, I love Jennifer Aydin. I kind of like, I love her life, like her husband, and that was another thing. Bill just like walking away from.
he
He was like,
hates her.
you get up. Like yeah, he's not playing because at the end of the day, he's the only husband that has like a job.
Something
Like,
real to lose.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, and so it's like, why would you? First of all, you know our kids are gonna see this again. You pushed
exactly.
her first.
Yes.
So it's like no
That's not a
matter
good
what
example to set for our kids.
no, not a good example to set for our kids. It looks bad for business. Again, I'm the only husband here with a job, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I kind of got irritated. Sometimes when I watch Jersey, I literally feel my heart rate going up. And when
Yeah.
Danielle was like going off on Bill, like, your wife's a bitch, like you're sleeping with the devil. Like my heart rate was literally going up. Like I wanted to like snatch her neck for Bill, like say something. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, oh my God, like he literally just doesn't like his wife because I
No,
could
he
not
doesn't.
imagine somebody talking about me. I don't even care if I pushed first. I could not imagine
Yeah.
my husband just sitting there and just like with his head down. Like he would probably get up, start laughing in your face. Like I
No.
know he would start going off. And like I just
Oh,
could not believe that Phil was just sitting there.
no, it's crazy because I get, like you said, I get like not wanting to engage with like someone that you feel is like beneath you. But at the
Mhm.
same time, if someone's calling me out of my name, whether it's on camera or not, you
Yeah.
need to defend me. You need to be like, it doesn't like it doesn't have to get to this. You're both like whatever.
You could
And then
have, he could have just said like simmer down. And I like
yeah,
that would have been enough.
something.
Like just say one thing, literally just
Yeah.
say anything.
And then the car ride home, you can rip me a new asshole for acting a damn fool because I deserve
Exactly.
it. But again, that's
In
in
private, do
yes,
that. Like
that's
in
under
public, have my back. And I
Yeah,
just,
even if I'm dead ass wrong, I'm sorry, but I will not marry someone if I cannot go out in public and say 2 + 2 = 5. And then he defends me down and says, yes, that's what she said. If that's what she said, it's what happened. And then when we get in the car, you can be like, hey girl, like
no, not
that's
even like you dumb ass.
yeah, like what the fuck was that? And I'll be like, I know, like I know, but at least I know you have like we have to give the front that we are united. We are
Yes.
one person.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And I just feel like Bill never does that for her.
No.
And so yeah, it's like on one end of it I see because he does have something to lose, and he's probably like, my wife always does this. Because the thing is with Jen is like, I do like her as a housewife. I think she's really funny. I think she's quick with the comebacks. I like to watch her family. However, this is a pattern with her. Like she's
Yeah.
done shit like this a few times. Wasn't it a few seasons ago she like threw something at Melissa across the table, like threw a fork
Yeah.
or a knife or
Yeah.
something, and like
Yeah.
Melissa was literally like about to like go over there and wring her neck out. I would have been the
Yeah.
same way. Like, don't try me, bitch, because like I want to put my hands on you, but I can't because of the context of this show. And you are trying me. Like, she did that to
Yeah.
her like twice, I think. And now she's
Yeah.
doing it to
I do know
Danielle.
that.
Honestly, like Danielle kind of was like her karma.
Yeah. Like I'll show you something. I'll show you
Because
something. You want to point
Melissa
your
cares
finger?
more about appearances. Danielle does not
Yeah.
give a fuck. Like she's Staten
No.
Island first.
No, 100%. Like she pushed the wrong button with the wrong bitch. Like what is it like if you think you got the right one, you got the wrong one. If you think you got the wrong one, you got the right one. Yeah.
So the rest of the season shall be interesting. I did hear that something else apparently happens with Danielle. So like right now I'll be on her side because I feel like it was justified, but if she continues this mess, I think it's time to go because this is Housewives, not Bad Girls Club. We can only take so much in one season. Like you're going to get physical and twice in one season. You can't at least space it out.
Yeah, you got to space it out. And Nene Leaks
Yeah.
always said, "You never saw me fight on camera." I said, "You know what? You're actually right because you've never seen Nene ever get like physical with anyone ever. Like, yeah, I'll read you down to underneath the ground, but like you will never see me on film put my hands on someone. And
And
I
I
like,
feel like, actually, no, never mind. I was going to say the Candace kind of does that as well, where she like will read you
hmm?
down. But I think the difference is it's like people know that they couldn't fight Nene. Whereas like I feel like you look at
Yeah,
Candace and it's like this little pipsqueak is talking like this.
yeah, no, because Candace will take you all the way there to the point where like you're like, okay, bitch, like I have to knock you upside your head. First of all, you're half my size. You got your finger in my face twirling. You're trying to flip my hair. No, it's going down. We will roll down this hill together, baby girl. And I don't
Yeah,
want to hear your tears. Nene, 6'5".
exactly. You're not
No,
fucking with that. Like
no, no, no. So, well, good luck to the Jersey ladies.
good luck to them. And I guess like going into more housewives things
Woo.
is it's now official that Kenya Moore is out from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And kind of confusing, like it kind of shouldn't say confusing, but kind of jarring going from literally an episode where Jersey, they are beating each other's ass and like it's
Yeah,
fine. And then Kenya's out and we
yeah,
don't even know
Kenya's
what
out.
happened. I mean, obviously we know the context of what happened, but like we still haven't seen the picture. I don't know. It's not like I'm defending her, but I just feel like there's so much question still. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean? To
seems
like
like
have
a
her out fully.
yeah, it seems like a very, very dramatic move on Bravo's part to take her out completely.
Okay, so from Love, okay, who is Love B. Scott? Is this credible?
I don't know. She's one of the ones that be on the show. Like they'll be
Okay,
like the
so
when they say like the blogs, it's that
okay,
lady.
it says exclusive. So this is what I'm reading from. It says,
Okay.
according to our sources, not only has Kenya been barred from filming the rest of the season, but the network is figuring out how to cut her from what's been filmed already so that she doesn't appear in season 16 at all. That's crazy.
Excuse me?
It says, contrary to other reports, sources exclusively tell us that there have been no talks between Kenya and the network about her returning for future seasons or other projects, and there won't be. So I don't know exactly what's right because I said this is like just a blogger, but
Cutting
what?
her out would be that would be criminal.
It says, okay, so this is the part that I had questions about
Mhm.
because it said that they needed Kenya and Portia to anchor the newbies. And obviously that plan has been ruined now. And they said that the door is open for other former
Right.
cast members like Sheree Whitfield and Phaedra Parks to return to help finish out this season. Okay, so this is where I
We
have
don't
issues.
want it.
So Phaedra can come back a literal scammer and all the craziness she did, accusing Candy of rape, but Kenya's out.
Right.
That's why I'm
Right.
like, I want to see everything because how do we get to this conclusion when when we're thinking about bringing Phaedra back?
And like the thing is, you fired Sheree because she brought nothing. Kenya brought too much. You got rid of her, and you're gonna bring her back with Portia. Like, yeah, we needed Kenya and Portia. This was supposed to be our redemption arc. We finally see the
Mm.
girlies together. They're both at the same phases of their life. Like, it's so exciting. It's fresh. Like, okay, we're turning over a new leaf with Atlanta. And then Kenya, like she always does, took it way too far. Again, not defending her actions, but it's like
Mm.
she I know for a fact Kenya and Portia felt the pressure of
Yeah.
making sure that this season was the best since the golden days
Yeah.
10 years ago. And then, she probably felt justified in doing so. And then you're gonna bring back Sheree and Phaedra, like you said, who literally her husband is her ex-husband. She brought on her convicted felon hunk of a husband. I mean, I'll give credit where it's due. That's a good looking piece of man. However, he's untrustworthy. Then you accuse one of your castmates of not only raping people with her husband, but drugging them and having a sex dungeon. Like, so basically human sex trafficking, because at that point, like, it's an operation, it's an organized crime. You accuse someone of that, you get banned from Bravo for like what, 5 8 years, whatever. Then they try to bring you back on every other fucking Bravo show because Candy's not gonna put up with that shit. They brought her
Mm-hmm.
on Ultimate Girls Trips a couple of seasons. They brought her on Married to Medicine, which makes no sense because not only is she not married, but it's not even to someone in medicine. And we never even
They
saw
were
the
just
man.
trying to bring her back.
They were just trying, begging. They brought her on Dubai. Why was she on Dubai?
And then she was on Traders. Like she is booked and
Yes.
busy. And it's like, how is I'm
Yeah.
just like, where's the consistency? I don't understand. I really don't get it.
This is not going to be pretty this season. Like, everyone's going to be watching, obviously, because it's crazy because, like, everyone's going to be watching for the Kenya of it, but then Kenya's not going to reap any of the benefits
I know,
of
especially if
it.
they cut her out of it, it's going to be
Yeah,
really.
if they cut her out of it, I'm not gonna, like, what's the point? Like, it's Phaedra and a bunch of, or not Phaedra, Portia, who I haven't seen in a couple of years, and a bunch of new girls I don't care about. Like, okay, everyone was gonna watch to see Portia and Kenya, and now either you're gonna cut her out completely, which is so insane, or two, now you've cut her in the middle of a season.
The middle of the season is what's crazy to me. Like, I get, like I said, they had to have had a reason, I guess, because this is like such an extreme thing for a Housewives franchise to cut somebody mid season. So, and then also, and be like, we're cutting her out of the scene and we're not working with her anymore. I mean, they do that to newbies who like, like that. I think there was this one person with the new reboot of Housewives of New York who they kind of
Yeah,
cut out from the beginning. She was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, which is like, you can get away with that with a new person, but with Kenya
yeah.
Moore, how are you going to get away with
The
this?
anchor up, she literally was, I'm sure she was in the center
Yeah, this would be like if they just like decided, okay, we're going to cut Kyle now from Beverly
in the
Hills and we're
middle
going to
of
have
the
to like,
season.
y'all are going to have to figure it out. And like, that's just not going to happen without
Yikes.
questions.
They're gonna have to
So
like reboot the whole thing. They're gonna have to take like a couple years off, I imagine, and
yeah,
just restart the whole thing. Like, start
Bravo
from
really is in its flop
scratch.
era.
Yeah, it's sad to see, but that's why we have, I guess, like Love Island now.
Yes, Love Island is so good, specifically USA, which you guys would think that UK is better. No, not this season. The
Yeah.
US cast is freaking bringing it. But anyways, okay, so enough about reality TV. Let's get into scripted. We're going to get
Yes.
into our House of the Dragons season 2, episode 2 recap. So this episode was titled Rhaenyra the Cruel.
Ooh, chills. I got chills when I read that episode because now I really pay attention to the titles now since last week's. And I
Yeah, I
was
feel
like,
like they
Rhaenyra
tell
the
things.
Cool. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is not going to be good for my sis. It's
I
not good.
just feel like these past two, well, the first episode, obviously started things off, but I feel like this episode, it was good, but I almost feel like it was like building up to craziness that's about to happen. And I just know that this is obviously Game of Thrones oriented. So anybody's death is on the table.
Yeah, I think the third episode is it's gonna like it's gonna be
I'm
crazy,
scared.
obviously, because well, let's get into it and then we'll get into
Yeah,
how
let's start
the
at the top.
episode ended. Yeah.
Okay, so we start off the episode with everybody kind of like being escorted out of the castle grounds because they don't know who the fuck just killed Jaehaerys, the heir. So, and then Aegon is like going nuts, breaking Viserys's Lego set. Very sad, very angsty right now.
It was that scene was like chilling because just the chaos. I could imagine like that kind of chaos if we like just found out the son's or the king's son was just beheaded in his bed. Like it wasn't like
In
he
his
was
bed.
out, it was in his bed. Like we have an intruder, we have a rat.
Yeah. I thought that's what was like so chilling about the episode is because I think in the first episode, Aegon kind of mentioned how he's not scared because the dragons will just, see them coming or knock them down. And they were not thinking that they were going to come into King's Landing, not on the dragons, like sneak in literally like rats and kill the heir in his own bed. So yeah, it was chilling. And it's
So
like nobody
personal.
knows who did it now. And everybody's up for questioning.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just like, now you know how Ray Ray feels when you killed her son.
Yeah.
Sorry, not
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Like I like want I obviously I feel bad for Helena. Is that how you
Yes,
say
that's
her name?
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
Helena.
bad for her because she knew a mother's intuition. She said, I'm scared of the rats. No one knew what the fuck she was talking about. And then,
This is the biggest tragedy, in my opinion, of this little storyline is they're making Helena seem like she's crazy when in the book she's like a dreamer. Like the dreamers are like people who can like kind of see the vision or see the future.
mhm.
And she like says these little things and they're like, okay, well, the queen is enduring a mystery.
Yeah, and it's like, no,
Like,
she's like
no.
predicted everything she says now. I like hold on to because I'm like, oh, she's gonna tell us. She literally always tells us what's happening in the episode. It's just my queen. Like, I feel so
She's
bad
a
for her.
really great actress
She
because I feel like
is.
she doesn't say much and you just see it all in her eyes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So now, obviously the kingdom is going crazy right now. And Otto immediately turns into Kris Jenner and tries to figure out how we can work this angle for him.
No, that's the thing.
He's
Like,
like,
yes, he's disgusting. Like, that is a but like, you do your job.
he
I,
is
c-
their PR maven.
yeah, like that is a chief of staff. That is a momager. That is like, that was because I was like, oh my gosh, like, how are they gonna like? I didn't know how they would turn this, but the fact that he flipped it and was like, no, we need to. She's a baby killer. I was like, oh, that is genius.
I know. So there was like this one line that he said that really stood out to me. He said, Jaehaerys will do more for us now than 1,000 nights in battle. And I was like, oh my God, Kris
And
Jenner.
it's
Oh my God.
true.
Yeah. And they spun the fuck out of that PR cycle. They were like, Rhaenyra the Kinslayer.
Yes.
And then, yeah. So now they're literally telling Aegon that we're going to have a funeral and we're going to do more than just a funeral. We are going to have your little dead baby paraded around King's Landing so everybody can see how awful it is that Rhaenyra chopped the baby's head off. And Aegon is obviously like, are you fucking kidding me? No. And he like looks
Yeah.
to Alice and he's like, Mom, please tell my grandpa this is stupid.
No,
And
it
Alistair was
was
like, no, this is stupid. And he was like, I don't care what either of you say. We're doing it.
it's it is crazy and it is cruel, but again, it's a Game of Thrones here. Like we don't have much time to
Yeah.
like turn this around. Like let's show them, because I guess in this scene they also had found the blood
Yeah. Like who did
exiting the
it?
castle because they found the baby's head in the bag.
Yes. Very sad. And at this point, Aegon's like, fuck protocol. I want war. Like, we're starting war right now. And Otto's kind of like, okay, we have to do this the smart way. Like, we're going to do the funeral
Yeah.
first, let people see that Rhaenyra is this cruel. And then also, when Alicent was talking to Helena and telling her, like, listen, we're going to have to be behind Jaehaerys, which is like crazy that they're making the two women do it. It's like,
Of
okay,
course.
see, this is what happens when you cap for misogyny. Now you're the disposable ones.
Yeah.
So now they have to be back there. And I felt so bad for Helena because she was like, why? Like, why do we have to do this? Like, I don't want them closer to me. I don't want people to know about me. I don't want people to feel my pain. And it just like made me think like how like Allison and Otto literally forced this on them. Like they didn't even I don't think Aegon even wanted to be king. Like, remember when he had to literally
No.
be dragged out season one because he was drunk? Like, he was like, I don't want to do this. And now his kid is dead.
He was drunk
And
when his kid got murdered.
I know, it's crazy. And it's like,
Like,
if we literally just maybe weren't misogynistic, Rhaenyra could have been happily ruling this kingdom.
yeah, and been a
But
great
here we
queen.
are.
Yeah, here we are. They had to sew the baby's head back on. That image, I was like,
Oh my God. Yeah. I
I
was like,
didn't need it.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes they're doing too much. I'm like, this is fake. This is fake.
Yeah, this is fake. This is fake. It wouldn't really look like that. Like, this is fake. It was so sad because his face looked like so sweet and like, oh, that
I
was
saw they posted like some pictures after like the people who played Blood and Cheese like posing with the little baby and like all of them smiling. And I was like, we needed this.
okay. Thank you. Like, I'm
We
gonna have
needed
to
to see
look
this
at
as
that. Yeah.
yeah, it made me happy. But this part like gave me chills so that they find out who did it and he immediately starts ratting out Damon. He was like, it was David Targaryen. He paid me to do this. And Larys comes in, which is like, I don't even know like what Larys's role in is at this point. He's like, he reminds me of Littlefinger, like a little sneaky fun.
Yeah.
So yeah,
In the
he like comes
business.
in and this part like gave me chills. So Blood like looks at him and he was like, are you gonna hurt me? And Lair says, no, but I cannot vouch for his grace. And then Aegon walks in and I was like, oh my God. And
Yeah.
he just walks in all slow with the club. And I was like, ah, like I just get scared because Game of Thrones is so gory,
I know. I knew it was coming. Like my body was
like
pre,
tense.
yeah, like already tense because I knew like he's about to whack the shit out of his head, which I would do too.
Deserved.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. Honestly, like I always put myself in character shoes and I was like,
Mhm.
if I were blood, I just would have like when they found me, I would have found the quickest sword and just
Killed
like
myself.
I would just kill myself because like whatever they're gonna
It's gonna
figure
be
out
10 times worse.
is 10 times
In
worse
that
than like
medieval time, like they were sick and twisted.
no, they were so creative with their torture techniques. It's like it's sick. So
And I'm not team green, but I was like you said, I kind of put myself in the characters in the moment and I was like, oh my God, like Aegon, get him, like
yeah.
get his ass. Like I was ready for him to be like, yeah, chills that whole scene. He's a really great actor.
Yeah, no, he really is. And he blood exposed his partner. He said
Yes.
the rat catcher. He said I don't know his real name. He just said it's the rat catcher.
In the castle, yeah.
And that obviously came into play later, but we'll get there.
So now we go over to Dragonstone to finally see Rhaenyra again. And I feel like this episode gave her so much life. Like she was finally, like I felt like this is the first episode that I felt like she was the same person as her younger self in season
Mm-hmm.
one. Because sometimes I feel like there's a disconnect between them. Like the season one younger girl, she was like so like spunky and spontaneous and like anytime I think of her like walking away from the white stag with like that blood all over her, like just such a badass.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like sometimes they just make the older Rhaenyra, like just so tame and calm. And I guess like, you know, her character grew up, but sometimes like I miss seeing that side of her. And I felt like I saw that side of her in this episode, like going off on Daemon, talking a lot. I loved it.
No, she was back because she had business to conduct. She said, now
Yes.
who the fuck killed this kid? Because it
This
wasn't
scene
me.
was so funny. I was so unintentionally funny when they're all sitting at the table
And Damon's literally just like, la la
looking
la, like
around.
looking at the ceiling. And then,
Rhaenys immediately looks at Daemon, like, because they were like, who would kill a child? And
yeah.
Rhaenys immediately looks over at David.
Yeah, because who else twisted, greedy mind would do that?
And then, like, Rhaenyra, this part made me laugh so hard. She looks over at him like, this is crazy. Like, you wouldn't do this. And then she just, like, all of a sudden, the look on her face changes. She leans in more and she goes, you did do this. Like I feel like
Yeah,
that's
because she was
in
like,
her head.
wait, she,
Wait a minute.
yeah, like who else, like literally, who else would do this in my name? And
Exactly.
technically, which I guess in the next scene, when they're just discussing the two of them, she's like,
Mhm.
you did not do this in my name. Like, this is,
Yeah.
you didn't do this for me to become queen. You saw an opportunity for you to be like move up
Spill
the
Hightower blood into fuck. Yeah. To just like
yeah, and to fuck them
evil.
over, like you got fucked over, and but it comes down on me. Now they're out here calling me chanting Rhaenyra the Cruel.
Yeah. Yeah, that scene with them was really good. And I feel like it was needed because at the end of the day, Damon did groom her. He is an abuser. Like, I know we like Damon because he's on Team Black, and I do too. But at the same time, like, he was literally with his niece when she was so young. And she finally told him, she was like, yeah, I saw it as a challenge when I was a kid. Now you're pathetic. Like,
Yeah.
go off.
Yeah, because it's crazy how when you're a kid, you just don't see it. You're like, what are these adults talking about? Like, it's not that big
Mhm.
of a deal, whatever. And then you grow up and you're like, no, you're actually kind of a loser. Like,
Yeah,
that's like
that's
you
literally what
can't
happened
even
to her.
fight with dignity. Like you think of like, oh, what's the worst, most corrupt thing I can do? And you do it just to, and honestly, you don't even really level up from it because guess what? We're still
Yeah.
fighting. These people are here for me, not for you.
And now,
Definitely
like,
not.
and like she said, like her position with the crown is even worse now
Yeah.
because now people don't want to back that the other houses. Like, obviously, it's like you want to get your revenge back because they did something awful to your son. But hello, this is Game of Thrones. We need to be more strategic.
Yeah. Zero. He has zero strategy and
Yeah, just
it
zero strategy,
shows.
just like sword, just blood.
Yeah. Which is why he has no business being king. Honestly, none of these
Exactly.
men do.
And this episode was the perfect example of why Rhaenyra should have been queen because
Yeah.
she's so diplomatic, so calm, even in the face of like, she literally had a miscarriage due to stress and because of the greens, and her son died, or not even died, was murdered by them. And she's acting more calm than anybody else in the realm right now. Like, this is, yeah. And I feel like Otto saw it this episode too. He was like, what did I do?
Yeah. What did I do? Because like it's not looking good for Team Green.
No, it's not. And one thing that I wanted to point out before we keep moving on is at the little council meeting with Rhaenyra is Rhaenys has the hand of the queen pin. So she's a hand of the queen. I was like,
Girl
she is
power.
such a bad bitch, man. I love her.
I like she, and that goes back, like she should have been queen
Yeah.
originally.
Yeah,
Like it
exactly.
should have it all could be so simple because I think she should have been queen because again, she's strategic. Like you can't just think out of emotions. This is politics, baby. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, we know right from wrong, but like you got to learn how to spin this shit and make it into gold, literally, without tearing down your own name, which is what Team Green and Team Black seem to just be taking turns and doing.
exactly. It's just a mess of a war. But I thought that was so interesting that she had that. And because I feel like
Wow.
she's the best position for it. Because I think a lot of people
Yeah.
thought it was going to be Damon, which is like a rightful assumption. It is her husband and like her closest ally. But this showed why he should not be in that position because he's not strategic. Like he
Yeah.
just, yeah. So I was excited to see that. And I like how they always try to show Rhaenyra like holding positions for the woman. Like, whereas you wouldn't normally see that in Game of Thrones, like
Yeah.
Rhaenys is hand of the queen, like her little stepdaughters are always involved. So
Yeah.
love
No,
that for
I
her.
love it.
Another interesting kind of creepy part was the Aemond scene when he was laying naked.
Oh,
I think what I took the most, he kind of like apologized. He was regretful in his own weird way about killing Luke. I didn't feel sorry for him. But what I thought was interesting about that scene was just how Alicent cannot be a mother. The fact that he has to pay a sex worker to literally comfort him, like an older sex worker that looks like a mom to comfort him. And then, like, when Aegon was sobbing because hello, his son got his head chopped off, and Alicent walks in and then just walks out. Like, she does not know how to be a mom. She does not know how to comfort
no.
them. Where it's like, then you opposed to Rhaenyra, who like immediately holds Jace and like they just start crying together.
Yeah. It's also interesting now because Allison and her kids look the same age.
It's very jarring. And like that's what I was gonna follow up with is I know that I can't be too critical of Alicent because she didn't know how to be a mother. Like she
Yeah.
literally
Never
her
had
kids
one.
were a product of rape at 14
Yeah.
years old. Like she had no choice in this and then
Yeah.
had to grow up immediately. And then I'm pretty sure her mom died when she was young as
Yeah.
well. So she doesn't know how to be a mom. And sometimes it's like, oh, I do feel bad for her. But then it's like,
Then I
then she like,
don't.
then at the end of the episode, fucking Kristen Cole again. It's like, all right, back on the shit list.
Yeah. Add her to the shit list. Allison Hightower. I'm adding her
And
right now.
Kristen Cole.
Yeah, those two are sickos.
Speaking of Kristen Cole, he
Ugh.
decides that he is so guilty that he is going to project his guiltiness onto Sir Eric and tell him basically to go on a suicide mission. That because your identical twin is working for Rhaenyra, you're going to go over to Dragonstone and execute her and just act like your twin. And you can't not do this, or else I'll tell the king. And we know how Aegon is. So, like,
I think my like least desirable characters, like characters whose scenes like I'm like borderline gonna grab the remote and skip it, is characters that like want to seem noble, like he's a knight, like he's supposed to be this knight in shining armor savior, and then be like, oh, so where were you? Bitch, where were you? You were fucking the queen.
I was
Okay?
screaming at my TV, like, where were you?
Like, don't put this
The
on him just
audacity.
because it's just like, because one, not only are you not supposed to be having sex with the queen, you're also a knight. You're sworn to
Protect
celibacy.
and celibacy.
Yeah, like you aren't supposed to be doing anything with anyone, let alone the queen. And you were just out here hunching on his mom, his grandma, when you should
I
have been looking
can't.
out, and then you want to go to an innocent bystander essentially to literally, yeah, go on a suicide mission, because like in what world will this actually work? Like,
Literally. And then it just gets worse. It's like you think it can't get any worse. No, it does. Because Otto finds out about this. This scene was so fucking funny to me
it
again. Like
was.
Otto just turning around and being like, "What did you two do?"
Yeah, it was a slow turn because I guess the bridge in between these two scenes was that they hung all the rat catchers.
Oh my gosh, yes, we did. We need to mention that. So yeah, Aegon hung all the rat catchers. And
All
he
of
did end
them.
up killing the one who brought them
Oh.
in the castle, but at the expense of like 10 other people.
Aegon went on a mission after, public is in their favor. They're like, we are 10 toes down for Team Green. And then, not only to Otto's point, did you hang innocent people, you did it in front of
Exactly.
everyone. You displayed their dead bodies in front of everyone, and that's how everyone found out. You took every single freaking rat catcher, what, all like 15 of them, and hung them just because one did something.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking to see that mom like go over and be like, "My son."
Yeah, because it's like, well, now you just had the people at the palm in the palm
Yep.
of your hand. Now you
And
just lost pretty much probably half of your supporters just off the simple fact that Like you just wanted to show everyone that there was a traitor in the kingdom just by association, like
It's so
not thinking
petty
strategically at all. Not
at
strategic.
all. And Otto is just like, how did I get into, I mean, you are literally the cause of this mess, but he's like, how did I get into this? And just like, he's literally going off on the two of them. Like, you guys are such idiots. And then I thought one of the best parts of this is when he was like talking about Viserys, his dad, and Aegon was like, okay, well, he made me king. And Otto just goes, is that what you think? So sassy.
Yeah, because it's like, no, we fought tooth and nail to get your little ass, undeserving,
Undeserving.
unqualified ass up here. And I'm trying to make this to your best ability. We had the entire realm on our side. And now look what you did.
And yeah, so then it gets worse when he finds out about Kristen Cole's plan to
Yes.
send Eric off to his death. He's already on the way. And, obviously Otto tells him this is a stupid fucking idea. And Aegon has such a big ego. And I think also because Larys is starting to get in his head about like the last
Hmm.
episode about the Hand of the King, he decides, okay, well, you're done, Otto. I'm firing you, and then appoints Kristen Cole. So like you think it
Ding
can't get
dong.
worse, it literally gets worse. So now the worst ding dong misogynistic pig in the realm is the new Hand of the King, which I'm sure he has great ideas that Aegon's gonna listen to.
Yeah, and then just wait until, and I think because when Aegon said that, like, I'm appointing, Sir Cole as my new Hand of the King, he got nervous as fuck. And you know why? Because now you're gonna find out that I'm fucking your mom. And how are you
Exactly.
gonna take that? Like and like you already know that's literally a death sentence. That is a death sentence taking that
And I'm
position.
so curious, like, if Helena is going to end up saying anything because Allison kind of like told her, like, like what you saw. And she literally just like pushes Jaehaerys's like clothes in her hand. She goes, "This is for my boy," and just walks away. Like, basically, like, I don't fucking want to hear it. Like, I'm in
Yeah.
grief right now, and you're talking to me about your sexcapades.
Yeah, no.
She, worst mother of the year award.
Yeah.
But then we end the episode with Sir Eric going off to Dragonstone. And if it was not for, how do you say her name? Massaria? This plan literally would have almost worked. So she was
Yeah.
right about to leave, which is the master. Actually, no, she's not the master of whispers, but
I know they said Rhaenyra called her a couple of things, but the one that obviously stuck out to me was Merchant of Gossip, or maybe Damon said that. And I was like,
okay,
oh,
yes,
I kind of like
she's
that.
yeah, she's basically just a little gossiper. And Rhaenyra decides to give her freedom, even though her gossiping pretty much cost Rhaenyra the throne because Ray is calm and collected and the perfect example of a queen. So thankfully, because of her due diligence, Massaria, I think, feels like indebted to her. And she's the
Mm-hmm.
first one who clocks that Eric was just with her and now he's walking up the boat. Like, that doesn't make sense. He was just in the castle, puts
Mm-hmm.
together that they're twins. And I mean, I guess runs to tell. We don't see what happens, but he literally gets all the way to Rhaenyra's bed chambers. Like, it's kind of crazy how this dumbass plan almost worked.
Yeah. Like, how did no one clock, like, because the guy at the door at her bedpost said, like, oh, like, it's been such a strange day. Like, I'll take your position of guarding
Yeah,
her
and just
bedroom.
left
And
him.
he's like, okay. Like what? Like, we aren't gonna do, like, oh, didn't I just, like, no
Weren't you
one's
just
gonna,
over there? Like,
yeah,
nothing.
something. And he literally gets into her room and she's like, Sir Eric, like,
I
what are
know,
you
like, it just
doing?
like, oh my God, I was so tense because I was like, there's no
Yeah.
way. There's no way. And then the actual Sir Eric busts in there and they start sword fighting. And it's like, it was very tragic because obviously
It
they're twins.
was.
And it's like, oh my God, they're literally killing each other right now
And what's
over
crazy?
what? Over royalty? Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
know he like pledged to Rhaenyra, but like, oh my God, this is so sad.
And what got me, and I'm glad that, the night that fucked this all up said something, is like, which one is he? Because it's like,
Yeah.
you can't even tell, like, who it is. Like, you
Who
can't
is
even
who
jump in to
anymore?
help
I know. It
because
just had to
it's
be just those
twins.
two because you couldn't even
Yeah.
like help the other one because you don't know literally who's who. That was
That
chilling.
was sick. Yeah, because I was like, who's who? Like, we can't even know who's. I don't even know who's winning the fight right now. Like, I
I
didn't
think they did
know.
that on purpose. Like I
Yeah,
thought
a
that was
hundred
really good
percent.
editing. And
Yeah,
then at the end, one of them kills the other one, and you kind of don't know who it is until he says, like, what does he say? My grace, your grace, or something like that. So you
yeah.
kind of know, like, okay, like he respects Rhaenyra. It's the good twin. But then he's like, I'm sorry. And he puts this sword through himself and kills himself. Oh my God.
Because
I
he
was
just couldn't live with the fact that he just and like,
killed
duh,
his
like,
other piece of life.
yeah. They said they share the same soul in two bodies. That's what the evil twin said before
I
he was
know. It makes
sent
me
off
so
to
sad.
betray him, and then now they're both dead. Idiot. Circle. Like,
I think
oh,
the
I'm
other
so
thing
sick
is
of him.
that I thought about is I feel like he also had to kill himself in a way because he was probably thinking like they're never going to trust me. They're never going to know who's who now. The
Yeah,
trust was
exactly.
lost. Like I feel like he was like, this is done. This is done. Like literally the worst scenario possible happened.
Yeah. Yeah, because you'll never know if that's like like you never really know if that's him because he could
Yes.
just be pretending
Mhm.
to get the
I saw
job
some people
done.
were saying like, oh, the good guy had like a cut on his leg, so I thought he was the one. But then I saw I don't know if it was the writer, the director, whoever it was talking in the episode. His name's Ryan Condal. He was like, we purposely had both of them have the same injuries because it's like one to show how similar they are. They both go like for the same spots, but then two, like for you to like not know up until literally the end, like we don't know who it is. But they did confirm it was the good twin that
Okay.
Team Black. I say the good one.
Yeah.
Team
Yeah. Team
Black
Black. Yeah.
was the
Oh,
one who ended up surviving and then ended up killing himself. Very
oh
sad.
gosh. That was so sad because it's like it didn't have like again, what was the point of this?
I
Like
know.
circle, like okay, like did you even think about like, okay, what if this doesn't work?
Exactly. No, he just wanted to be an asshole. Like I
Yeah, and blame someone else because he was too busy doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing.
deserve shit list. Hate him.
Yeah.
I can't wait for his death on this.
Same, because I know it's coming. That's the
He's
thing.
like getting to Joffrey levels.
Yeah, that's the thing about Game of Thrones I like is like I know like the character I don't
Everybody's
like
gonna
is
get their
yeah,
end.
someone's gonna like you're gonna end up dead. And now we know exactly why you're gonna die. Because Aegon's gonna find out and lose his shit.
I just feel like this, even as much as what happened this episode, I just feel like so much more worse is to come. And it felt like a
Yeah.
very like chilling build up. So I'm excited, but I'm also really scared because like I just have to remind myself this is like Game of Thrones and I cannot get too attached to these people. Like this
Mm-mm.
is my official distancing myself from Queen Rhaenyra. I can't. All of them. I have to like
Yeah.
give myself space.
Yeah, it's just like no, you're right. Because Rhaenyra is obviously like the lamb. Like she's like the
Yes.
character they want us to fall in love with. And it's like that's exactly why you guys are gonna probably take her away. You
Yeah.
spent all these seasons trying to make us fall in love with her and seeing how good of a queen and how righteous she is, just like her great grandniece or whatever, Daenerys. And then look what happened.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see how this is going to go, but we'll probably wrap it up here because we've been chatting and yapping for a while. But we hope that you guys enjoyed this more detailed recap this time. I really enjoyed it. I felt like we had
Yes.
fun, but it was good to get into the details again. 'Cause I just love the lore of House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You can go so deep. So, I enjoyed.
No, it's so poetic, and I love poetic justice, which is a grand theme in this Game of Thrones universe. But yes, this was a great recap. We're so happy if you made it here. Do not forget to download this episode and then share it with a bestie. Share it with your best yapper, okay?
We would
Because
so appreciate it.
yeah, and it's just what's better than you guys can yap about House of the Dragon or whatever. And tell us if you liked our ideas. Tell us if you didn't. We really appreciate it either way.
Yes, we are so grateful as always. And thank you guys so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.